camera. Go for it.
Seth, if I can come down. Can I come down?
Mrs. Vaca, members of the school committee, Dr. Troughton, faculty, staff, guests, parents, relatives, friends, and most of all, members of the class of 2002. Welcome to the 2002 graduation exercises of North Reading High School. To the class of 2002, you are about to embark on a journey into a changed world, a world changed by the events of 9/11. You will face many new challenges and changes in your lives. But, just as members of the graduating classes of 1942 did after Pearl Harbor, you will not back down. Instead, you will create a better, safer world marked with new traditions. You have been a class of many firsts. The first to complete 4 full years with Mr. Pesci and me. The first to travel as a class to Washington, D.C. The first to travel as a class to Disney. The first to propose and gain approval of a senior final exemption policy. The first to create the freshman buddy program. And the first to organize and coordinate the entire district in a Red Cross relief effort. It has been a wonderful 4 years. You have established high benchmarks for future classes. I wish to each and every one of you the happiness of a productive life, the respect of your fellow human beings, and the love of family and friends. Whatever path your future takes, it is my sincere hope that you will look back on your 4 years at North Reading High School as having prepared you to meet and cope with the challenges and changes that life will present. May the future be yours, class of 2002. I would like to leave you with the following modified quote from Christopher Columbus. Following the light of the sun, they left the old world. Thank you. Dr. Troughton will now deliver the charge to the graduates.
It's my pleasure to welcome parents, families, and members of the staff and friends to the graduation exercise at North Reading High School. As Superintendent of Schools, it is an honor and a privilege to present the charge to the graduates of the class of 2002. On behalf of the staff and of the North Reading School Committee, I extend to each of you, the members of the class of 2002, our personal congratulations for a job well done and my sincerest best wishes for your future success. We're gathered here this evening to wish you well, to applaud your accomplishments, and to confer on you a diploma in recognition of your fulfillment of the requirements of graduation from North Reading High School. Additionally, we hope to offer you some last-minute advice and encouragement as you leave North Reading and begin a new journey along separate paths. We are all very proud of your accomplishments. As individual students and a class, you have distinguished yourselves in academics, in athletics, in the arts, and in a host of service projects to your school and to your community. Your 4 years here at North Reading High School have been marked by considerable growth and personal bests. In addition to numerous academic awards and recognition for outstanding achievement in the performance arts and in athletic competition, you have perhaps distinguished yourself most as a class that has spirit, commitment, and unity. You've learned the importance of giving back to others and through your involvement in school and community service projects, through your travels and excursions to Washington, to Toronto, to Virginia Beach, to Spain, and to Nicaragua, and even to Disney World. You served as student ambassadors from our high school and brought credit to your school and to your community. The manner in which you initiated and conducted school-wide assemblies in display of patriotism, political debate, and school spirit exemplify high standards of excellence. And finally, the unity that you displayed as a student body in response to the tragic events of September 11th demonstrated your maturity as young adults and serve as a role model for our underclassmen. As a school district and as a staff, our mission is always to challenge and encourage you to be thinking, creative, and responsible individuals who are confident and committed to excellence, service, and lifelong learning. And your accomplishments as a class and as individual students these are evidence that you've achieved our educational mission for you. As superintendent of schools, I want to thank your teachers, your advisors, and your coaches for the strong foundation that they've established for your lifelong learning. They have worked tirelessly to provide you with a quality education. I would also like to give special recognition to 5 faculty members who will retire at the conclusion of this school year. Together, Mr. Fenton, Mr. Goss, Mrs. Janes, Mr. Poulier, and Mr. Robert George Pushkar have a combined total of 165 years of distinguished service to North Reading High School and have touched the lives of countless students. I'd also like to thank our parents and families for the love and the nurturance that they have provided you, to each of you, over the years. And finally, I would like to recognize the North Reading community for the support it has provided to build a quality school district for the children here in North Reading. Now, a few words of advice and my charge to the graduates. Each year, the theme for the charge to the graduates emerges in a different manner. As I look back over the charges from previous years, the themes have been drawn from current events, from literature, and personal experience. This year, the tragic events of the attacks of September 11th and the painful aftermath of the weeks and months that followed have caused all of us to become more united as families, as schools, as communities, and as a nation. We have come to understand it is our individual responsibility to serve the common good. Themes of patriotism, heroism, and service have renewed our sense of purpose as a nation. Juxtaposed in this year of tragedy was the unexpected but jubilant Super Bowl title by our Patriots. The themes of unconquerable team spirit, respect for the underdog, and perseverance helped to lift our spirits. Both events will forever mark the year of your graduation from North Reading High School and serve as primary themes for living as you leave North Reading. This year, however, I'd like to offer a few words of advice from a different source. As your class officers, Charisse and Chris and Brianna and Brian know, when they first approached me with the idea of a class trip to participate in grad night in Disney World, they were met with considerable skepticism and questions on my part. Where's the educational value? How will you afford it? Who will be the chaperones? What about MCAS and AP tests? And would Coach Carey approve? Your class officers were up against a superintendent who, despite being a member of the Musketeer generation and the owner of a Mickey Mouse watch, has never stepped foot in the Disney World or Disneyland, the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, or any of the other Disney studios. Against all odds, however, your class officers prevailed, and the very first senior class trip was organized. And by every account, a wonderful time was had by all. But can anything be learned from Mickey Mouse? In many respects, Mickey is one of the most universally recognized symbols of American ingenuity and spirit of optimism. And since his debut in 1928 as the star of the first sound cartoon, Steamboat Willie, Mickey has become an international icon. Without the benefit of computer graphics, Walt Disney utilized his imagination and his ingenuity to create an endearing character that provided early viewers with an opportunity to escape from the economic woes of the Great Depression. Mickey went on to star in over 80 cartoons and feature-length films. He served in World War II to promote the war effort and to boost morale. Mickey served as the mascot for generations of children in the 50s with the inception of the Mickey Mouse Club. And he opened numerous Disney theme parks across the U.S. and in France and Japan. Mickey became an international star. And although Disney went on to produce more technically challenging films, and the commercial success of the Disney enterprise expanded beyond all imagination, Disney never forgot the origins of his first creation. Mickey Mouse continues to serve as a symbol of imagination and dreams. And while Mickey's popularity is challenged constantly by a host of Disney cartoon characters, and at times Mickey is derided for his naivete, this little mouse displays an indomitable spirit of optimism and good cheer. Disney once said, "Somehow, I can't believe there are any heights that can't be scaled by a man who knows the secret of making dreams come true." This special secret, it seems to me, can be summarized in 4 C's. They are curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. And the greatest of these is confidence. When you believe a thing, believe it all the way, implicitly and unquestionably. Members of the class of 2002, my charge to you is to remember the spirit of that little mouse in your first trip. It's possible for you to reach your dreams. Maintain the 4 C's of curiosity, confidence, courage, and constancy. And as Disney once reflected on Mickey, I only hope that we don't lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse. Class of 2002, keep your dreams big and you will achieve them. Best wishes to each of you. God bless.
Good evening, members of the school committee, Dr. Troughton, Dr. Papagiotis, Mr. Pesci, faculty and staff, family and friends, and members of the class of 2002. In these last weeks, before we all prepare to head our separate ways, it's not unusual for us to take a moment to have those discussions that start with, "Remember back in the day when." The time comes up when you and your friends went to the hornet's nest on the half day and got kicked out of the library for chewing gum. Then someone mentions that side ponytail you used to wear or the tail you tried to grow, and you promise never to speak of that time again. Today, I want to take a few minutes to talk about back in the day. I'm sure we all remember when Saved by the Bell was the show to watch. Ever since I saw the episode where Screech and Jessie give this wonderfully moving speech at their graduation from Bayside High, I wanted to give a graduation speech of my own. I wanted to stand in front of my classmates and give them this inspiring speech that they would remember always and forever and look back on for years to come. As I sat down to write my speech, however, this task proved nearly impossible. I could not think of any one thing to say that would touch each member of our class. So I decided to say something to each of you individually. Jen Aldridge and Jessica O'Neill are so open and outgoing, they make people feel as though they've known them for years. As far as Anne Marie Alvarez is concerned, I am convinced that there is a spot on Broadway waiting just for her. The fact that Bobby Anderson once spent an entire power block scrubbing paint off of a friend's arm speaks volumes about his friendship. Sal Anastasi, the red-headed Italian, can strike up a conversation with anyone. Jackie Anzalone and Andrea Russo love to chat and are easy to talk to. Andrea Arvanitis has this amazing sense of style that will make her the envy of all the girls at Syracuse next year. Melissa Bastian, Colleen Foley, Steph O'Rourke, and Emily Grossman are among the most talented artists I've ever known. They never cease to amaze me with their creativity. I truly admire Emily Batchelder's self-confidence and ability to say whatever is on her mind. Chris Beaton's great intellect made him the best calculus partner I've ever had. Jessica Beveridge always has a positive attitude. Most everyone knows that Rudy Benkin is great with computers, but not a lot of people know about his great sense of humor. Joe Buckanevis is absolutely a great friend. Samantha Brennan is a great person to have by your side during those tough times. Chris Bruno's courage and kindness are unparalleled. If you ever need the 411 on a boy band, Lori Brown is the person to call. Dave Butler's great sense of humor is outdone only by his school spirit. Karen Capua always seems to have the answer, whether you ask her about homework or where to get the best prom dresses. Megan Corrett becomes the life of the party as soon as she hits the dance floor. I have yet to see Blake Casaza in a bad mood. Sarah Castine and Jay Bernardo are paragons of originality. Shay Collins and Michaela Kasparian will do anything you ask of them without complaint. If I somehow forget what a great friend Steve Caldwell is, I'll never forget those cowboy boots he used to wear in kindergarten. Ashley Crooker is opinionated, high maintenance, and sometimes bossy, but that's what I love about her. She's a great friend who will do anything she can for you. Mike Daskowitz, Andy Favreau, Mark Fierson, and Brian Hawks, also known as the Hot Boys, are some of the funniest people you will ever meet. Laura Dewar has definitely found her niche as a talented photographer. I've never met anyone who belongs to more organizations than Brian Damari, and he represents all of them proudly. When Jen Doherty starts with her impressions, it's impossible to have a bad day. Whatever Laura Dowd may lack in volume, she makes up for in originality and kindness. Declan Dwyer pretends to be a wise guy, but inside he's a truly nice and generous person. I've known Brianna Eisenhower ever since elementary school, and she still surprises me with the things she says. I always joke with Chris Urbafina that he's not as nice as my mother thinks. But everyone knows that mothers are always right. Dan Face's boyish, easygoing nature makes others eager to be his friend. Nikki Falcione is quiet but never afraid to be herself. Betsy Fillmore never hesitates to tell you what she really thinks. Joe Finicaro never gives up. Jackie Fritzen, Jen Kern, and Amy Kennedy always come up with these wonderfully sarcastic remarks that can make anyone crack a smile. Amy Gallant, Megan Hernandez, Amanda Larkin, and Rachel Mitten, also known as the Van Clan, exemplify the meaning of friendship and honor. They, as Allison put it, turned a name of shame into a name of pride. Amanda Gerard is one of those all-around great people. She does well in school, in sports, and gets along with everyone. Making friends comes naturally to Julie Herrera. Every time I turn around, she introduces me to someone new. Liam Hunt's passion is hidden behind a mellow exterior, but is evident in his performance in the art room and on the track. Jim Kazmazak, Lauren Mealy, and Stephanie Venuto are fantastic musicians. Greg LaJoy is the only one I know who can challenge Mr. Fox's sarcastic sense of humor. I can't even begin to describe what a great friend Mike Kazmazak is. He's generous with his time and his gasoline, always willing to give someone a ride. You don't have to talk to Mike Larkin and Mark Pinkham every day to know they're still your friend. Adam LaBeouf and Davin Potvin are great listeners. You can always depend on Eric Lee. Jackie Locke has a terrific and often contagious laugh. Nathan Lopez never gives less than 110%. Christine Lundell has a sharp wit that keeps you on your toes. Matt Lynch is one of those people you can talk to for hours about nothing and everything. Darren Malik keeps people focused with his practical thinking. Marlene Marino is the sweetest, kindest person who would give you the shirt off her back if you needed it. No one can resist Seth McCullough's charm. Rob McLaughlin's that person behind the scenes who may not always get all the credit he deserves. Sarah McGlinchey is a well of information. Gail McKinney always goes above and beyond expectations. Mike McNeil and John Fletcher have no enemies. Jackie McQuestion and Pat Penny never stop striving to do their best. I've yet to meet anyone more dedicated than Kimmy Johnson. Andy Mounter's got a lot of heart. Amanda Mulhan always has a kind word to give. I've known Dave Monahan since he was my height, way back in kindergarten, and I couldn't ask for a better friend. A sprained foot can't stop Coco Monk. She's a trooper. I've only talked to John Morrison a few times, but he's one of those people you can tell right away will never let you down. Rich O'Neill exudes self-confidence. Elena O'Toole and I used to spend hours on the phone helping each other through those weekly middle school crises. Greg Orlowski comes up with the best comments that always make you think. Julia Paoni is supportive and loyal, not only to her teammates, but to her friends as well. Melody Parsa knows those things you think no one else could possibly understand. Robin Parsons gives the best advice and is always the first to say, "Be my guest." Although Reggie Paul is an independent individual, you can depend on him. Chris Peters is a Republican and proud of it. Mike Politz is just cool. Everybody loves him. Johnny Perazzo is like a teddy bear. He's cute, lovable, and always there when you need a hug. Chris Ramsdell is such a sweetheart. A class superlative was never better awarded. I remember laughing for 3 days straight the day I saw Justin Rand do his cheetah impression. Leanne Redmond, Kim Sawyer, and Erica White are 3 people who will always have your back. Everyone can truly feel comfortable around Nick Ripple. Chris Rizzo will defend his friends until the very end. Omig is giving of her time, money, and friendship. Lindsay Ryder always has the best stories to tell. It would be difficult to find a more caring person than Jessica Sicardo. I admire Megan Sardella's strength and perseverance. Sheena Simone is a phenomenal athlete. Anders Strami can fit in with any crowd. Chris Toludo's generosity is challenged only by his kindness. Jill Tremblay's cooperative nature makes her a pleasure to work with. Jessica Vaca has all the sensitivity and understanding needed to be a great friend. Not only is Brienne Van Offren determined, but she is courageous as well. Mark and Scott Vaughn have been lumped together ever since we were little, but managed to shine as individuals and make up really great dance routines. Maddie Venezia is the most laid-back and smartest person I know. My chemistry class is still trying to figure out how he pulled off an A in a class he never woke up for. I watched Monique Visconti go from a quiet, shy girl to a little social butterfly. Lauren Waters has the most entertaining stories and makes everyone feel like her best friend. Mike Weatherby and I went from passing notes in class to passing each other in our cars and are still good friends. Michelle Wilkinson is a fun person everyone loves to be around. Jessica Hart, Lauren DiPrizio, and Kirsten Wytanek, also known as The Puzzle, have a special place in my heart. Jessica Hart is kind, funny, and intelligent, all the ingredients needed to make a teacher any child would be lucky to have. Lauren DiPrizio excels at anything she puts her mind to. Kirsten is hard to describe. There's just something in her smile that everyone seems to love. This is the class of 2002. You have touched my life in so many different ways. I wish all of you the very best and hope you keep a piece of North Reading High School with you always. Never forget the friends or the teachers you had here. You will be hard-pressed to find a more caring faculty. As for my family, I can't thank them enough for their continued support and encouragement. My brother makes sure that in all that I'm doing, I never forget to have fun. Dad is always there, at least half an hour early. My mom, while she commends me for my achievements, reminds me to stay humble and remember to whom the praise truly belongs. I would not be the person I am today without every one of you. Thank you.
Good evening. Eleanor Roosevelt once said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Right now, we are about to begin a new chapter in our lives, and it is up to us to make our dreams a reality. When I was thinking of what I could possibly say to my graduating class on our last day together, all I could think of was us, the class of 2002. I began to think back on all the things that we have done together. There have been proms, dances, pep rallies, games, class trips, and so much more. Our motivation, enthusiasm, and dedication is inspiration enough and proof that we have achieved our goals as individuals and as a class. I remember that my first day of high school was full of anxiety and uncertainty. And when my dad dropped me off at the school, I was not even sure that I wanted to get out of the car. Now that I am standing here, however, I am reluctant to leave. As a freshman, I remembered thinking that the seniors were so grown up and that they were ready to venture out into the real world. Back in the fall, I wondered if I possessed the confidence that I had seen in them. We have many reasons to be proud of our class, despite what some teachers have proclaimed the biggest senior slide in NRHS history. We have accomplished so much in so little a time, and we still have a lifetime ahead of us. For most of us, it will be hard to leave this close-knit community that we have at North Reading High School. And I can attest to the mixture of emotions that we are feeling, sitting here, about to be handed our diplomas, deeming us high school graduates. I recently came across a quote that I think sums up the strong friendships that we have made, some of us since elementary school. Like branches of a tree, we grow in different directions, yet our roots remain one. Each of our lives will always be a special part of each other's. It is reassuring to think that even as we say our goodbyes and branch out on our own, we will remain rooted here. Since September 11th, we have come together as a nation, as a community, and as a class. We have all seen that the future is uncertain, and today's changing society has left our generation a great number of responsibilities, but many opportunities as well. We are the future, and we are ready to stand up to the challenges before us. While high school graduation is often described as the end, let us not forget the familiar cliche that this is the beginning of the rest of our lives. Remember that each day arrives new and fresh, and that we have the ability to start over and better ourselves. Of course, there is sadness and anxiety, but this is our day to reflect on all the good times, our hard work, and our accomplishments. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my friends for standing by me and making these past years memorable. To my family, especially Mom and Dad, thank you for your continuous love and support, not to mention your patience. You guys are the reason I am standing here today. On behalf of the class of 2002, I would like to thank the faculty and staff at North Reading High School for their extraordinary dedication. When I think back on these past 4 years, I might not remember the topics of my term papers or all the information that I crammed in for finals, but I will never forget the many teachers who went out of their way for us. Thank you. And to the class of 2002, congratulations, and remember that you have the ability to do whatever you strive for. So do not give up on your dreams. Remember that success is not defined by how much money you make or the type of clothes that you wear. It is doing what you like and liking who you are. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Inconceivable, this day has come. When I found out I had to give a speech to you, I could not imagine all I would go through. I'm saddened by the source inspiring me. September 11th, an unforgettable tragedy. At first, I thought, no, this has been overdone. And yet, it hasn't. The war on terrorism's not been won. The world was scarred, affecting all, bringing out the American in us. We stand tall with a renewed patriotism, proud to be an American, now truly deserving the United States title once again. United we stand, we'll remember that day. The indelible mark will never fade away. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat. We won't let anyone forget. Ignorance will defeat. That which does not kill us only makes us stronger. A philosophy Friedrich Nietzsche and I hold so dearly, and so does every American. We are survivors. We honor the bravery of those fallen firefighters. Remember those victims. Cherish the memories. We will not give in to those cowardly enemies. We will celebrate life, our freedoms, enjoy our nation. Without enduring hardships, there can be no appreciation for what we have until it is gone. Our forefathers had fought for a new dawn, a nation of life, liberty, freedom, prosperity. We had taken these for granted as a guarantee that is not automatically given outside our nation. Out there exist repression, poverty, and starvation. Every now and then, reflect upon your life. Things could be worse, more turmoil and strife. In those times when all seems bad, think of those who never had the blessing of being here. When things seem to be unfair, think of guilty until proven innocent, those in jail. But in America, justice will prevail. When you are in doubt, you can depend on a friend, or even those you think don't care, to help you reach the end. With support and reassurance, those unexpected places, those unnoticed people, all those faces of classmates who are strangers and yet should not be. I have to thank you. Your comments consoled me. There's always shoulders to cry on, those willing to talk with eager ears. Sometimes you just need to walk and clear your mind of your preconceived notion of others. Give them a fair chance. Fate is in motion. And when times are hard, you feel stuck in a quagmire, in the end, you will better yourself. You will admire that strength you thought you did not possess. Through failures comes a fulfilling success. It is hard now to move on with this great grief undergone, but this joint effort in helping others seems to be all that really matters. Furthermore, with those bad times in history, we all should have the deepest sympathy for those minorities victimized because they were despised by people feeling superior over those they deemed inferior. We learn from the past, not doing it again. We have been educated, but additionally can listen to a deeper note subtly sounding. What is to come may at first seem dumbfounding. Those crimes against humanity that we recall evoked feelings that should be felt by all. To all people, regardless of race, moved by these events. Embrace anger and disgust. These feelings can in turn inspire us, remember and learn. Perceive people, as redundant as it may sound, but a connotation of the word people should also be bound with a feeling of connection to each other. We need to stop labeling one another. Stop making associations with superficial categories. Judge upon the inner selves. Listen to their stories. Hear their voices, their opinions, and their experiences. Disregard the stereotypes attached to appearances. Respect other cultures. Don't be xenophobic. Don't ridicule or abhor differences. It's moronic. Advice like this can be applied on a small scale as well as worldwide. So expand your horizons, open your eyes, the hidden commonalities you'll see with surprise. Everyone you know or have not met, give them the respect deserved by everyone. Live, don't dwell on the past, time moves on. So better late than never, after dusk comes dawn. In the youth of the nation lies the future of the nation. But wait, one last thanks to my parents, grandparents, and family, especially my sister, teaching me so much inadvertently, and also my relatives I have never met, who influenced my life and how I'm seen. I regret class of 2002, I do not truly know all of you at this time when our lives are starting anew. It seems we are now just starting to be ourselves, feeling more carefree to be who we are. It is what matters most by far. My classmates, the class of 2002, thanks again. To all, thank you.
That's right. How many pictures are on the wall? 24. Right above you.
Usually they don't have that gate open, that's why.
I am pleased to announce the scholarships and awards for the class of 2002. Would all recipients please remain standing when called, and would the audience please hold your applause until all recipients have been acknowledged. Thank you. The James R. and Barbara E. Aylward Memorial Scholarship, Seth McCullough. The Nettie E. Barrasso and Mary Barrasso Memorial Scholarships, Brian Damari, Kimberly Johnson. Peter Bruno Memorial Scholarships, Matthew Lynch, Robin Parsons, Jessica O'Neill, Davin Potman. The trustees of the Technical Training Foundation have awarded Christopher Bruno a grant to Johnson & Wales University. This grant is in memory of his father, Peter Bruno, who was an employee of Microwave Engineering Corporation. The Stephen L. Burt Memorial Scholarship, Christopher Peters. Ellsworth Croswell Memorial Scholarship, Amy Kennedy. Edward J. and Phyllis E. Coakley Memorial Scholarship, Amanda Gerard. Joseph Gavin Keep the Faith Scholarship, Michelle Wilkinson. Stephen Gregory Scholarship, Jonathan Morrison. James Gregory Hannon Scholarship, Laura Dowd. Edith F. Holt Memorial Scholarship, Christine Lundell. E. Ethel Little Scholarships, David Monahan, Jacqueline Locke. Hunt Memorial Scholarship, Mark Vaughn. Knights of Columbus, Paul Phelan Memorial Scholarship, Jessica Vaca. Frank W. Jr. and Glenn A. Kenrick Memorial Scholarship, Adam LaBeouf. Nicholas J. Morano Memorial Scholarship, Anne-Marie Alvarez. Nicholas Martineau Memorial Scholarships, Mark Vaughn, Megan Corrett. Walter Miller Scholarship, Richard O'Neill. Michael J. Mitt Memorial Scholarship, Mark Fearson. Mount Carmel Order of the Eastern Star Scholarship, Cherise Landers. Moynihan Lumber Scholarship, Michael Daskowitz. North Reading Community YMCA Scholarship, Amy Gallant. North Reading Education Association Scholarship, Jessica Hart. North Reading Golden Age Scholarship, Shailene Collins. North Reading League of Women Voters Scholarship, Lauren DiPrizio. North Reading Masonic Lodge Scholarship, Gregory Orlowski. North Reading Music Booster Scholarships, Kimberly Johnson, Darren Malik, Robert McLaughlin, Amanda Mulhan. North Reading Rotary Club Scholarship, Rachel McKinney. North Reading Youth Basketball Scholarships, Christopher Ramsdell, Joseph Finicaro. North Reading Youth Football Scholarships, Amanda Larkin, Rachel Mitten, Richard O'Neill, Allison Sawacki. North Reading Youth Soccer Scholarships, Christopher Ramsdell, Julia Paoni, Monique Visconti, Jennifer Kern. North Reading Youth Softball Scholarships, Sheena Simone, Kirsten Wytanek. Reading Cooperative Bank Scholarship, Matthew Venezia. Edward Sapienza Scholarship, Michael Weatherby. Bonnie Symes Memorial Scholarship, Megan Corrett. James Skinner Memorial Scholarship, Robert McLaughlin. Richard K. Smith Memorial Scholarship, Jason Bernardo. Cultural Council Scholarship, Emily Grossman. Reading Municipal Scholarship, Kimberly Johnson. Massachusetts Elks Scholarship, Christopher Beaton. Massachusetts Elks Association Scholarship, Jessica Vaca. Alan B. Rogers Memorial Scholarship Award, Gregory LaJoy. The Robert Marchionda Memorial Scholarship. Education was always very important to Officer Robert Marchionda. He would have been honored to know that a scholarship was given in his name. Even after attaining a Bachelor of Science in Law Enforcement at the University of Lowell and a master's degree in criminal justice at Anna Maria College, Marchionda continued to seek out ongoing education. Constantly training for both the SOU and TPF units he belonged to, as well as canine training, he took advantage of every educational opportunity available to him to upgrade and reinforce his skills as a police officer. He was especially well known for providing demonstrations with Canine Harry for youth groups and schools. Congratulations to Christopher Beaton. Officer Marchionda would be pleased to know a fine student will be getting support in his career choice. That concludes our scholarships and awards. Stay up here with me. Right. At this time, I would like to announce the following members of the class of 2002 have been selected as Dollars for Scholars recipients: Karen Capua, Michael Daskowitz, Brian Damari, Laura Dowd, Declan Dwyer, Colleen Foley, Amy Gallant, Amanda Gerard, Megan Hernandez, Amy Kennedy, Jennifer Kern, Gregory LaJoy, Cherise Landers, Amanda Larkin, Jacqueline Locke, Christine Lundell, Robert McLaughlin, Rachel McKinney, Lauren Mealy, Rachel Mitten, Christopher Peters, Mark Fearson Jr., Christopher Toludo, Jessica Vaca, Mark Vaughn, Scott Vaughn, Matthew Venezia, Michelle Wilkinson, and Kirsten Wytonic. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Mrs. Maureen Vaca, Chairperson of the North Reading School Committee, will now confer the diplomas.
Good evening, and congratulations to the class of 2002. I know so many of you very well and have watched you grow from elementary school kids into admirable young adults. I first met many of you in elementary school, volunteering in the classrooms, chaperoning on field trips, and who could forget the vacation with Mr. Jones, a vacation I'll never forget. So I am not surprised at what an outstanding class you are, because you always were an exceptional bunch of kids. You have displayed unity, maturity, and leadership throughout all of your school years. To the class of 2002, thanks for the memories. I'm going to take a moment to talk to you about talent. Like fingerprints, no two of you are alike. You see, all people are not created equally. Each one of us is uniquely created. Each one of you have your own talents and gifts, a combination of which no one else has. Do you know how many talents and gifts there are? Social scientists have studied this question over recent years, and they have identified 800 talents and gifts, 800 special abilities. How many do you think the average person has? Well, the social scientists all agree that the average person has 800 talents and gifts. Think about that, 200. If the average person has 200 talents and gifts, and we know that this class is above average, how many do you think you have? Can you identify your talent? What about teaching? Do you have the gift of educating and molding the life of a child, to bring the opportunity, make a difference in a person's life? So the average person has 200 gifts and talents, but unfortunately, many people lack the motivation to find and utilize them. That is a shame, a waste of talent. Social scientists contribute this lack of motivation to what they have termed the fear factor. Fear causes hiding. It prevents us from becoming our best. Fear will deny you opportunities. For instance, fear can take the form of self-doubt. Many young people think they are not good enough or qualified. Don't go there. You are talented. Find out at what. Exercise your talent. Take them out of the box and try them on. Don't be afraid of failing. Failing can be a great teacher. Take risks. The most successful people are those that take risk. Baseball players with the highest home run records also have the most strikeouts. Stand at the plate, exercise your talents, take the risk. Thomas Edison failed at more inventions than he succeeded at, but it never stopped him. Abraham Lincoln failed in most elections he ran in, but he pressed on, convinced he had the gift of leadership. If you haven't failed lately, then you haven't tried anything new. Another reason people don't exercise their talents is they are self-conscious. They worry about what other people think. Know this, in everything you do, you will find a critic. You will never please all of the people all of the time. So don't let the culture determine your passion. So if you thought about your 200 talents, your 200 gifts, remember the use it or lose it rule. It applies to your gifts. You must exercise and practice, or you will lose them. Just like with exercise and practice, you get better. When athletes exercise, they get better. When musicians practice, they get better. That is the most exciting part. Once you discover your talent, your special gifts, using them will increase. They don't wear out, they get better with use. So I charge you with this. Discover your gifts, your talents. You have at least 200 of them. Exercise them. Take the risk. Face the challenge. You are equipped to do so. Invest in your life. And you see, we are not created equal. Each one of us is deliberately designed with our own unique blend of talents and gifts. And in coming together, we all bring into this world. That is why your class has been so successful as a group, because each of you have contributed in your own way. Your individual talents in music, drama, academics, sports, leadership, compassion, laughter, consideration, and many more are all blended to form the class of 2002. One last word to the parents, a word that my daughter quoted in her yearbook, and it's advice I'd like to share with you. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Congratulations, and may God richly bless each one of your lives. Thank you.
Matthew G. Venezia. Brian Joseph Damari. Brianna Marie Eisenhower. Christopher John Peters. Charisse Natisha Landers. Jessica Vaca. Kimberly Beth Johnson. Marlene Maria Marino. Jennifer Lynn Aldridge. Anne Marie Alvarez. Salvatore Peter Anastasi III. Robert C. Anderson. Jacqueline Anzalone. Andrea Renee Arvanitis. Melissa Susan Bastian. Emily Jane Batchelder. Christopher Michael Beaton. Jason Adam Bernardo. Jessica Beveridge. Rudolph Christopher Benkin. Joseph Francis Buckanevitz. Samantha Ann Brennan. Nona Lorraine Brown. Christopher P. Bruno. David Thomas Butler, Jr. Stephanie Elizabeth Romake. Karen Lee Capua. Megan Teresa Corrett. Blake C. Casasa. Sarah Lawrence Castine. Shailene M. Collins. Stephen J. Caldwell. Ashley A. Crooker. Michael Daskowitz. Laura V. Dua. Lauren M. DePrizio. Jennifer A. Doherty. Laura Catherine Dowd. Declan Jeremiah Dwyer. Christopher Thomas Urbafina. Daniel Face. Nicole Joyce Marie Falcione. Andrew Mark Favreau. Elizabeth Ann Fillmore. Joseph G. Finicaro. John Michael Fletcher. Colleen Marie Foley. Jacqueline Marie Fritzen. Amy Claire Gallant. Amanda C. Gerard. Emily Megan Grossman. Jessica Jill Hart. Brian Allen Hawks. Megan Kate Hernandez. Julianne Herrera. Liam Patrick Hunt. Michaela Kasparian. James David Kazmazak. Michael J. Kazmazak. Amy Elizabeth Kennedy. Jennifer Ann Kern. Gregory Gerard LaJoy. Amanda Alexandria Larkin. Michael Larkin. Adam Richard LaBouffe. Eric Anthony Lee. Jacqueline Ann Locke. Nathan Daniel Lopez. Christine Ruth Lundell. Matthew A. Lynch. Darren Malik. Seth Clark McCullough. Robert David McLaughlin. Sarah Jean McGlinchey. Rachel Gail McKinney. Michael Sean McNeil. Jacqueline Grace McQueston. Lauren Christine Mealy. Rachel Ann Mitten. Amanda Blair Mulhan. David W. Monahan. Corinne Amanda Monk. Jonathan Matthew Morrison. Andrew George Mounter. Richard Michael O'Neill. Jessica Lee O'Neill. Stephanie Ann O'Rourke. Gregory Michael Orlowski. Elena Marie O'Toole. Julia Mulcahy Peone. Melody Parser. Robin J. Parsons. Reginald Boynton Paul. Patrick Penny. Mark Stephen Fearson, Jr. Mark Joseph Pinkham. Michael N. Politz. John David Perazzo. Davin Michael Potvin. Christopher Patrick Ramsdell. Justin Eric Rand. Leanne Jessica Redmond. Nicholas Ryan Ripple. Christopher D. Rizzo. Donald Michael Algren. Andrea M. Russo. Lindsay Elizabeth Ryder. Jessica G. Sicardo. Megan Eileen Sardella. Kimberly Ann Sawyer. Allison Kristen Serwacki. Shayna Beth Simone. Anders Strome. Christopher D. Toludo. Jillian Michelle Tremblay. Brianne Danielle Van Offeren. Mark Gregory Vaughn. Scott Eric Vaughn. Stephanie Dawn Venuto. Monique Marie Visconti. Lauren Ashley Waters. Michael Christopher Weatherby. Erica J. White. Michelle Marie Wilkinson. Kirsten Marie Whitanick.
Oh yeah, they're here. Where's the electronics? What up? Hand out the gifts like what I was saying.
Since it's a little chilly outside, I think we're going to get right along with presenting the class gift. But first, I'd like to turn the microphone over to our class secretary, Brianna Eisenhower.
All the class of 2002 accomplished would not have been possible without the help of many great people. Among those great people were our advisors, Mr. Ruggieri and Mr. McIntosh, and also Miss Lally, Dr. Oakley, and Dr. Papagiotis. Mr. Ruggieri and Mr. McIntosh spent a lot of time working with the class and made everything we wanted to accomplish happen. Miss Lally and Dr. Oakley are great friends of our class and were successful in making the Washington trip and Florida trip a big success. And finally, Dr. Papagiotis, a mentor for us as class officers who embraced our new ideas with open arms and an open mind. We will forever be thankful. We have come together as a class to buy you gifts to show our appreciation. Would Mr. Ruggieri, Mr. McIntosh, Miss Lally, Dr. Oakley, and Dr. Papagiotis please come to the podium? I know, I got that. Could I please have a round of applause for these great individuals? I would now like to introduce our treasurer, Brian Damari, who will present the first class gift.
All right, throughout this ceremony, we've seen that the events of September 11th have affected our class a lot, and to commemorate this, we have this picture of the World Trade Center before the bombing to commemorate the whole tragedy, so the whole school will remember it. And it is my honor to present Dr. Papagiotis with this present. Sure. Now to present the rest of the gifts, Chris Peters, our Vice President.
The class of 2002 entered North Reading High School like any other class, similar in size and in makeup. A couple of years ago, however, we really began to set ourselves apart. We had the privilege of being the first class to visit Washington, D.C., the first class to enjoy a trip to Disney, and a week ago, the first class to camp out on the football field. Hopefully, these will become traditions that will be enjoyed by many future NRHS students. The class of 2002 has made its mark on North Reading High School, and so it is only appropriate that our gift do the same. The front message board was purchased by the high school in the 1970s, and the past 3 decades of weather and wear have taken their toll. So, we thought it might be time for an upgrade. And for our main class gift, we have purchased a brand new, state-of-the-art message board to replace the one that we currently have. It is our gift to the school to be enjoyed for many years to come. It will also, of course, serve as a reminder of just how awesome the class of 2002 was. I'd like to end by saying how much the 4 of us have really enjoyed working for the class and how we had a lot of fun doing it. Fellow grads, good luck next year.
Now, class of 2002, together let's move our tassels from the left to the right, commencing the beginning of the new stage in our lives.
I won't forget you guys either.
Okay, let's go.